Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel and another random car video. Now yesterday, my buddy Engine Bob and I went down to Kentucky, and I guess you can say I collect them now. Yeah, another G-body El Camino. Let's drag her out. First, let's see how it does with a cold start. Come in. Way wrong. Pretty sure that wasn't going to start, but I think that has a lot to do with timing. Now there it is, one big white ice cube. 1982, factory 305. Everything I've been told about it, I consider hearsay if I haven't been able to see it with my own two eyes, because there were no receipts. No receipts about the transmission being gone through and worked on, the rebuilds, or gone through 305. All that's, you know, soon to be said. However, one of the big reasons for buying this car, for the price I got it for, was, well, hey, it's fun, but it's a Tennessee car and it has little to no visible rust. If you're quick to note, the trim will tell you this was a two-tone car. There's another brown car. This would be technically the third brown car I've had, none of which are currently brown. So let's get it in where it's warm and take a look at it. Now that it's in here where it's warm, let's give this a little walk around, Derek style. So like I said earlier, 82 El Camino, pretty much untouched, overly molested. Seems to be pretty stock. It's on the 14-inch steel wheels that someone has painstakingly hand painted the silver onto. It's got a 20-foot paint job. It's way better than the blue one, but definitely not a high-end job. It's just fine. That's not what I'm particularly after. No major dents or dings that weren't covered up by paint, and then who knows what's under that. Tailgate's in good shape, opens and closes well. Nothing to speak of has been in the bed. A couple little marks down here, but nothing much to speak of has been in there since it was painted. Doesn't look like, from the corners, this is a place where they leak. Doesn't look like they've redone the caulking, so that tells me either they didn't care or it didn't leak. Another spot for these cars is underneath the windows. Stuff gets back in here and then this rusts out. That all looks real good. So those were the things that I was kind of looking at. We'll take a look underneath, but I've seen pictures that show it looks pretty good. Again, on par for a Tennessee car. So inside, the ubiquitous burgundy that bleaches out to almost brown. Someone's recovered the seats, which is a economical way to go. I don't know what happened over here, but you can see this. It's kind of, I don't know what's hiding under there. Radio's missing. Who cares? A couple of gauges on it. They both work. Temperature gauge indicates the motor is doing well after a lot of idling. Oil pressure is pretty good. Cold, it was at 50 psi. Honestly, I didn't look and see what it was after that. Previous owner told me that the vacuum gauges for switching the internal venting isn't hooked up, but he did replace the component inside here. That, again, remains to be seen. Standard gauge cluster with not even a clock on the right. So this is kind of like what well, this is exactly like what's in the blue one. And I put a GPS speedometer on the left and a tach on the right. Deleted all the little gauges in the middle. But we'll get rid of the idiot lights. When we get under the hood, we'll take a look and see if the computer's still hooked up. I don't think it is. So here you can see that the car was originally a brown of some shade or another, similar to the other brown El Camino I've got. Purported to have 109,000 miles or something like that. Let's see what's behind the seat. Oh, what do we got here? Some belts that all look to be in good shape, but used. The little carpet flap back here still exists. Oh man, check that out. It's got the spare tire, the jack, the whole shebango. I haven't looked under here to see. It's cold, but it's dry. It was 20 degrees out overnight. Somebody's insurance card. Oh, Jason. He has an HSA plan. Other than that, carpet's in real nice shape. I don't know if this was replacement. Probably was. But it's in pretty good shape. So, needs a radio. The steering wheel's nasty. Whew. Yeah, she's a grody one. Let's see. Oh, heck, this one's got tilt wheel. It's my first one with tilt wheel. That's pretty nice. Yeah, this is going town rig according to Derek. Intermittent wipers and all that good happy stuff. Hazard button, blah, 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 blah. Headliner's in good shape. Oh, boy, is she crispy. Don't touch it. Oh, man, I just left a handprint in it. Whew, that's nasty. Alright, well, guess there's nothing left to do but open the power barn. Standard grill. Chrome's in better shape than some of my other ones. The seals in both outside lights, which I don't know if those are the high beams. I don't remember which those are. Is broke. The seal is broke because they got moisture in them. Oh. No, come on now. There it goes. see. Oh, I gotta decode the VIN. So I'll put some interesting tidbits that might reveal in play later. So this was a V8 air conditioning car. No shit. Look at that. The air conditioning is all still hooked up. Wow. That's a first. Huh. Got a inline fuel filter. Kind of glad to see that. One of the things that's known to be wrong and was as reported, the gas gauge reads full all the time. I don't know if that's an open circuit or a dead short. If you know, doobly doo down in the comments what you think that is. I'll have to do some research if somebody doesn't come up with a good answer for me. Steering looks fine. What in the shit Sam Jones is that? Those are speedometer cables. But I didn't see cruise control on this thing. Hell, it's got cruise control. It's got factory cruise control. That's what this is, and then the button on the end. It's so worn off, I couldn't tell. Factory cruise. Interesting. So, I'm quite sure the air conditioner is shot. The clutch is unplugged. It probably doesn't work. Oh, hell, there isn't even a belt on it. So, no telling if it's locked up. Probably is. But at least all the pieces are there, so that might be something to explore. It's got the standard cast iron manifolds on it. Fan shroud. Yeah, this thing's pretty much unmolested. Everything's pretty much here. Now, the ad said that the brakes are new to include proportioning valve, master cylinder, lines, etc., etc. That will remain to be seen. When we get under it, we'll know a little more. The master cylinder does look new, but that would explain how come the pedal's so spongy. Wonder where all that went. I wonder if that's the oil leak. He told me it had an oil leak, and I could see that in the wet pavement when I picked it up yesterday. It's got this Holley carburetor on it. 761 is stamped on the side. I think it's way too much carburetor, and it's probably way too much fuel pressure. I had that problem with my Edelbrock on my blue car. The stock fuel pump down here was putting out 9 psi, and at least on the idle brakes, they only want about 6 psi. Electric choke. Not real sure what that piece is. I'm not familiar with these carburetors. Doesn't look like the Look at Derek. The charging whirler doesn't look very old. Battery's got a go handle. It's a never start. It came from Waldo Mart. Boy, it did not want to start. It's got a date of 420 on it. So not real old. It's got a clamp on battery clamp, battery cable. I don't know, it might be worth having it tested or something. All the appropriate gadgets and stuff for the computer are still over here. However, there isn't anything on it's a little crimped wires. There's nothing on the carburetor. The wires to that sensor here are gone. Wow, that's a thick wire. That's the temp sensor that's going inside, I'm quite sure. So it looks to me like they've got the computer discombobulated, which is, or I don't know, should 82, did they not have them yet? I don't know when they started putting those pain in the neck deals in it. I know my 85 had it. Looks like the radiator is leaked 1 or 10 or 52 times. Transmission lines got a little moisture on them. Fuel pump doesn't look too old, but what the hell is this? Oh, you know what? I think that's a return. Interesting. The bushings are shot, which is standard. You expect that in an 85. I wonder how bad the shocks are. Oh, gee, yeah, they're pretty bad. I know this thing drives like a Barca-Lounger. See, it has a front sway bar. I guess the, oh yeah, these bushings are all bad. It has a front sway bar. Just out of curiosity, does it have a back? Negative. No sway bar in the back. They usually didn't. It's got fairly new exhaust. That was part of the explanation. This is sort of a quick glimpse. You can see that one of the places, the back of the frame rails on these cars that rusts out, looks to still be in real good shape. Tank straps and everything. Probably gonna have to pull that out to fix the gas gauge. Oh yeah, shocks back here are shot. So I can tell you from experience that a good set of roll bars and a good set of shocks do wonders for these cars handling. I don't imagine spending the big bucks on the performance mods I've done on the blue car for just a, I'll steal another Derek term, going to town rig. But man, air conditioning, cruise control, make the ride nice on the cheap. Box the, well, I'll take the lower control arms off the blue car because there's some new QA1s for the blue car in there. Anyways, that's, just noticed this. We'll pretend we didn't see that. That's about what we know. No brake fluid. Air cleaner way too damn small. Let's lift it up and take a quick peek underneath. Along with the gas gauge not working, I have no door keys for this either. So probably just put in all new locks. Some of the door seals were replaced. You get it up in the air here, we'll look at the other ones. Oh, that's so interesting to see the front. Those front wheels do weird things on the stock geometry. Well, that oil we saw is transmission. You know, this gone through performance transmission. That is in the 20 minutes it's been sitting here. I wonder how low the fluid is on that. Well, nothing real hideous up here in the front. It's got some sort of silly blue shock. Oh yeah, that's problematic. But again, not unexpected. This side looks like this side's better, but I'll just order a whole set. I'll replace all the arms, everything, this idler arm, the whole shebango. All right, getting back here a little further. Oh, we got some rust preventative. Oh yeah, that is a shit ton. What in the hell? The fact that this shift arm is covered and it goes all the way up the side of the block. I mean, that's like a bath. That's a lot of oil. It's dripping off the pan. That's motor oil. Good night. So that's not this on the floor. Oh yeah, you can see it here now with more light on it. That's shit. That's downright clean motor oil. It's coming out of there so fast. Well, put your guesses in the comments below as to what that is. A lot of it on the outside. Good Lord. I can't imagine a valve cover that bad. And being it's on the outside, I'm not thinking rear main seal. Transmission itself is nice and clean. It's been out of here. Looks like a new cable put on it. The cable's been painted white, it looks like. That's weird. Moving back here a little bit. Yeah, the exhaust is covered in oil. The drive shaft is right up against the exhaust. That's with the rear end at full droop. There's the new mufflage. As you can see back here, that frame's in great shape. A little bit of surface rust. Of course, the body mounts are garbage. Crap, it's dripping off the muffler. Can't tell you much about the rear end. Just is what it is. Alright, continuing back, stock control arms. Nothing special there. I can box them and do all that like I did the other set. Bushings are, I'm quite sure, shot. That's a pretty cheap fix. In fact, the set that's under the blue car now, I've already boxed and set up for set up with bushings in. Sorry about that. That's what's going on, isn't it? Set up with bushings in here for bolting on a sway bar in the back. So I'll have that going for me. All I gotta do is come up with a sway bar. Keep going back. Standard air shocks. This one's blown out. No surprise. Probably get rid of those. They make a shock that's got a little coilover on it, kind of a helper style coilover. I might look into those and see how bad they are, and then just get rid of the air. The air always leaks. Yeah, this one's long gone here too. You can see it's nice and oily. Standard drum brakes in the back. Brake lines are not new, but not about to fall off. And then coming back here, oh, there's some rust. Yeah, she's pretty ugly right there. Right at that rear body mount. That's weird that it's only right there. And it almost looks like it's wet. Almost feels wet. See right here? Oh, it's full of gravel. That's no surprise. Now, let's go over here. This side, no rust at all. Huh. Well, I will I'll grind that out, cut it out, whatever, and patch that back in just so it doesn't get any worse, but it's only here on the bottom. She's pretty crusty. Not exactly weight reduction, but crusty nonetheless. Box mounts are good. The rubber here is baked, but 1980. Body doesn't sound like it's full of Bondo there. So I guess the big one, oh well, here's our rear end. Standard What are those? 8-inch? 8/8, something like that. Okay, let's go back up here to the front. To the oil bath. There's the fuel lines and the brake lines. All that good stuff. There's one line there that's new. Where's that go? I think those are both fuel lines. One's a return. The seal on the back of the trans is leaking, but that's because the slip yoke is nasty. I'm not going to worry about that a whole lot until I figure out where the other leak is coming from. Let's see here. We'll have to map this out. This transmission, the linkage and everything looks like the 200 that's in the 85 as well. I'll put what it is down below. Something guard. Looks like they got about 2 different kinds of sealant on this oil pan. This side of the motor basically dry. Nothing fancy with the starter. AC Delco spark plugs. Yeah, our oil problem is over here. Whew, dog. What is that? Stop it. There's the new proportioning valve, or new looking proportioning valve anyways. And it's like the lines, no, those are old too. I don't think any of the brake lines have been replaced. Alright, well, there's our undercar tour. Pretty dry up front. Motor mount still exists on that side and this side. A little bit of moisture up here, but gosh, not bad at all. That oil leak is coming from down here. This is the back driver's side right here. And I see some room temperature vulcanizing rubber. See that red around the around the fitting for the oil pressure oil pressure. Oh, I see what happened. All right, so another small oversight on my part. This is not factory manifold. That oil leak is coming out of the back, that little china wall in the back of the intake manifold. To stop that leak is going to be pull the intake, just fine. Nothing real hateful there. Yeah, that's where it's coming from. What's a Performer EPS? I don't see a make on here. You know, I see Performer, I think it'll break, but usually Edelbrock's real good about having their name all over shit, and it's not. So, there's another mystery. Yeah, I'll bet you that's exactly where that oil's coming from, is that back china wall. And before I wrapped it up, I thought I'd take one last look at our carburation. Looks to me like a good size Holley 4-barrel. The only number I see on it is on the side 11761. See if I can figure anything else out. 2701 is what's on the intake manifold, and I am quite sure that's the leaking culprit. I'll tell you what, she revs super slow, and she's a dog until she gets going. I checked the accelerator pumps are working, so it doesn't seem to be an issue. But big time problem with the brake fluid, as in there isn't any. I didn't see any signs of brake fluid on any of the wheel cylinders in the back or the calipers in the front, so not real sure where exactly that went. Guess I'll fill it up and look for the leak. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me on this little walk around. We'll see this one again soon enough. Take care, everybody. Happy New Year. Are you still here? Go home. No, just kidding. But if you hung out to the last minute, here's some tidbits of bonus footage. Yes, the computer is still in it. Wires are still hooked up. Not sure how much control they currently have. I'll have to look at the distributor a little bit. They have none on the carburetor, so that's a good deal. And then down here, see if I shed a little light on the subject. Is the original color. I don't know what color that is. But the floor pan has Zippo Rusto, but it's wet. So it's got two layers of jute. It appears to be the original here, and then the aftermarket there on this new carpet. And it's definitely new carpet. So it's like that's crusty. I don't know what the hell that is. But this is the original. It was still glued to the floor, so I pried that up with a plastic scraper, which I am now using as a support device to allow air in and out of there. And I'll probably see if I can find a fan tomorrow morning and throw in there. Anyways, that's enough for now. You guys go home. Have a good night. Later.